everyone, it's John from WoT and welcome back to another video. We have a ton of Wheel of Time show news for you today, and I'm pretty excited about this one because it's going to be a long video, and it's been a very long time since we've had more than a couple of things to talk about regarding the show. So we're going to talk about a ton of different things, everything from the writer's room for season 3, kind of setting up shop and starting work on that season, to a couple of new castings that were leaked by WoTseries.com, some social media posts by current cast that sort of hint at some things for season 2, a physical copy of the Wheel of Time that's being released in the UK that I've been begging for forever, that I will not be buying, and I'll let you know why I won't buy this one later on in the video. I'm a little disappointed. All of that, including a promise that Sony and Amazon made to the fans way back in August, or July rather, about Origins releasing in August that they broke, and it didn't happen. So we're going to talk about all of that, including a couple of other things today. I'm pretty excited about this one. Now, before we get into the video, there is a few things coming up for the channel here that I want to talk about. The first one being I will be on the after party for Lord of the Rings Rings of Power over in Fellowship of the Fans. Now, I've left a link to that down below in the description box if you folks want to check me out there. Should be around 2:30 Eastern this Sunday and every Sunday thereafter until the show ends. And I'm pretty excited about that one because it'll be from the perspective of a new fan. Basically, I don't know much about the show. I don't know much about the books. I read them in high school. I watched the movies a very long time ago. And I'm excited to be on that panel. In addition to that, I will be releasing a review for each and every Lord of the Rings episode that comes out. So 2 episodes are dropping today. You should see a review tomorrow for episode 1 and the day after for episode 2. And I'll be doing that till the show finishes. All of that, plus we have a brand new series starting here on the channel called Talking Wheel of Time With. Now, recently I had Ali and Gus from the Wheel Takes pod on, and it was a big hit. People really enjoyed seeing them and really enjoyed me talking to somebody. So I've decided to have guests on more often, and I have a few of them lined up, including some surprising ones even for me, so you're not going to want to miss that. They should start sometime mid-September and be a weekly series after that. So if you want to see notable people in the fandom, or just notable people in general, and I'll leave that very vague, talking about the Wheel of Time here in the channel, make sure you keep an eye out for that. Now, if you're new to the channel and you don't know what we do here, we normally cover Wheel of Time show news, but we also talk about other fantasy properties and the books as well. So if you like any of that stuff, make sure you click the subscribe button and the notification bell. We usually put out a couple of videos per week, and we are trying to hit 20,000 subscribers before the end of the year. So help us out with that if you haven't already subscribed. So let's dive into the video here. But before we do, I have to give a slight spoiler warning. So we're going to talk about a couple of prospective castings that have been leaked for season 2, which means I have to speculate just a little bit on who they may be. So, spoiler warning, if you have not watched the first 8 episodes of Sony and Amazon's Wheel of Time show, or read the first 3 books of Robert Jordan's Wheel of Time series, that's The Eye of the World, The Great Hunt, and The Dragon Reborn, be forewarned, I will talk about minor plot points and minor character arcs from all of that. I won't ruin too much, but I am going to speculate some, so I may talk about them just a bit. All right, that being said, let's get on to the video. So we're going to start off by talking about the writer's room. For those of you that don't know, season 3 of the Wheel of Time was greenlit quite a few weeks ago now, and Rafe Judkins, the showrunner, has stated that will center mostly around the Shadow Rising. That's book 4 in the Wheel of Time series by Robert Jordan. Now, book 4 is probably one of my most favorite books, and Perrin's storyline in particular in that book is absolutely amazing. So it's one of the ones I really hope they get right, and when they said it would center mainly around that book, I was pretty happy because one book, one season is pretty much all you can do for the Shadow Rising without some major cuts, in my opinion. Now, we know the writer's room was going to get set up at some point or another to start writing the scripts for season 3, but now we know they're there for sure. So this was posted to Sarah Nakamura's Twitter on the 25th of August. For those of you who don't know, she is the book consultant for the show, so basically she gives them all the information about the books. She is the expert on all things Wheel of Time. She advises the writer's room. She advises the production team. That is her job. Completely advisory. She doesn't have the power to make changes or anything, but if they ask a question or if they come up with something silly, she certainly will tell them. And maybe some of you don't know this story, and maybe some of you do, but the season 1 writer's room were batting around all kinds of different ideas about how to deal with the Wolf brothers, and one of them actually thought that perhaps replacing the wolves with bears would look better on screen, and she had to step in and kind of rein them in a bit. So that's part of her job as well. So we do know that the season 3 writer's room is in London right now, this very moment. So anybody in the UK, guess what? You're probably going to see Sarah and some other notable writers kind of wandering around town, writing this 3rd season of the Wheel of Time, which is pretty exciting. That means that maybe, just maybe, they'll start filming in the next few months. I hope, anyway. All right, now we're talking about a casting. This comes to us through WoTseries.com. It is a leak casting. It's not confirmed, so take this with a smidge of salt, at the very least, a grain of salt. But this is Dara O'Toole. Now, he's an Irish actor that's been acting since about 2011, and he's most notably known in Peaky Blinders. An absolutely amazing actor, but we don't know exactly what role he's going to be playing. Now, he's been credited as playing a character named Yan, either with one N or two, according to the WoTseries.com article, but there's no characters by that name in the books, so we really don't know exactly how he's going to fit in or what character he's going to play. My guess, if I had to guess, probably someone to do with an innkeeper in an inn, an extra in the background, so to speak, maybe a warder. I'm not 100% on that, but considering some of his other roles, it's quite possible he could play a warder. So what do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. How do you think he will fit in, and which character do you think he'll play in the second season? Now, again, it's Yan, so it's either an amalgamation of existing characters that we don't know exactly how they cram them together, or it's a brand new character because there's no character by that name in the book series. Now, I've left a link to that WoTseries.com article down below in the description box if you folks want to check that out and read it after you're done the video. I highly advise you folks to bookmark their page and check back often because they come out with a ton of Wheel of Time show news. They haven't been wrong yet, and they are realistically a better source for news than the official channels from production. All right, so now we're going to talk about an Instagram post from Saleh. Saleh, she's an actress involved in season 2 of the show, and yeah, it's kind of interesting. This was posted to her Instagram story a couple of days ago, and translated it says, "Sorry, but how can I resist making a story when I'm working with Supersonic DK, Sony Pictures, and Amazon Prime?" Now, I've included this for a couple of different reasons. She is involved in the second season of the show, and she did tag both Sony and Amazon in this, and she has tagged Sony and Amazon in other posts she's put about the show. So she's talked about her role in the show a couple of times in her stories, and she has tagged certain people in it. So that was the first little tidbit there that this might have to do with Wheel of Time. And the second thing is Supersonic DK is an audio and video production, post-production company based in Copenhagen. So this is entirely possibly somehow related to the Wheel of Time, but it's also entirely possibly not related to the Wheel of Time. So I'd say the likelihood of this being something to do with the show is about 50-50. Either way, it's pretty interesting. She did censor out what was on the screen there. So this could be anything at all. It could be another one of her projects, or it could be the Wheel of Time. But it is interesting that both Sony and Amazon are tagged in it. I thought it was neat. And if you want to follow her on Instagram, that's her Instagram there. And she has in the past talked occasionally about the show. So it is kind of neat. Now we're going to talk about this. This is the disappointing physical copy of the Wheel of Time that I mentioned in the intro. Now, there's a couple of reasons I would buy a physical copy of things. One is if it's a collector's edition. It has some cool things in it, cool packaging, comes with, you know, maybe a statue or a prop or small toy of some sort, something neat, something a little bit extra, or it involves things like directors, showrunners, actors and actresses, production teams, commentary, deleted scenes, interviews, extras that would make me want to buy a physical copy and have it in my house and use it to watch the show along with that stuff. Now, we don't get that on Prime Video. So on Prime Video, you have basically just a straight show. You have the stuff there that's in the extras, like the origins and the x-ray and things like that, that are kind of neat, but usually physical copies come with a lot more. Now, this physical copy, I don't believe, and you folks can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong on this, take a look at it, but I don't believe it comes with anything. It basically states it's got a runtime of 480 minutes. It's one disc in that crappy Blu-ray packaging, and that's it. There's nothing else there. So it doesn't mention any extras, any deleted scenes, any commentary. There's nothing there, and usually that's a selling point for physical copies like this. So my guess is it's just a show on a Blu-ray, and it does say it has an interactive menu, so that's a plus, I guess. Maybe the menu's better in Prime Video's menu, which is actually not that hard because Prime Video's menu is pretty garbage at this point, but they are updating their UI, which is nice. But zero benefit for me to buy this at all, and I'm thinking a lot of other Wheel of Time fans might go the same route. Now, there are some reasons to buy it, but I mean, if you're a fan of the show, you probably already have a subscription to Prime. You're probably going to watch it on Prime if you want to watch it again and again and again. I think the niche market for this, of people who don't subscribe to Prime that are going to buy it to watch the Wheel of Time, is probably fairly small. I was really hoping for something, a collector's edition, some commentary, something else. And I may be completely wrong, but the information on the website basically does not talk about any of this stuff. So right now, I'm not buying it. If one of you folks happens to get it and it does have some of those things, please let me know. I will pick up a copy then, because I like the extras. I like all that sort of stuff. But if it's just a show, I have Prime Video. I can stream it on my phone or my tablet or the TV. Or I don't need a physical Blu-ray copy. I don't even know if I'd have to dust off a Blu-ray player somewhere or use the PlayStation. That's pretty much what I'd have to do. All right, so now we're going to talk about this. This is another Instagram post. This is to do with Zoe Robbins, who plays Nynaeve. It was pretty interesting. It's got not really much to do with the show, but it happens to showcase the hairstyle she's getting, and these are some amazing, amazing braids that she has in her hair. So if you want to follow this particular person on Instagram, they did do Zoe's hair, and Zoe tends to post some things here and there as well. So, I mean, it's really neat. I thought it was kind of an interesting tidbits to showcase, and that looks absolutely amazing. And we're probably going to see more and more of that iconic braid. So if you've read the series, you know what I'm talking about. But the braid in the fandom is one of the big selling points for Nynaeve. She likes to grip her braid when she's angry. She tugs on it a lot, and it's part of her character. And I think this looks absolutely just stellar, and I wanted to include it for that reason. All right, now we're getting into this. Yes, Origins. This has been the talk of the fandom the last 2 or 3 days, and I'm not going to lie to you. The Wheel of Time account, the production team, Amazon, Sony have been absolutely roasted by the fans on Twitter the last couple of days. So, for those of you who remember, in Comic-Con back in July, they announced that we'll be getting new Origins episodes in August, and this was part of the thing that they had kind of promised that they would be putting out more Wheel of Time content, because there's going to be an extended break between Season 1 and Season 2, but they will engage with the fans, they will give us some stuff, we will see things, and they physically announced we'll see more of these Origins. Now, they showcased 2 of the Origins at the Comic-Con, and I did a video on it, I talked about it a couple of times already, and we were supposed to be getting those this month. Well, the month came and went. So on the 31st, which is basically the day before Rings of Power comes out, because today's the 1st and it comes out 9 p.m. Eastern tonight, the fandom was asking, rightly so, where's Origins? There's a countdown. I get in a little bit. Some good-hearted fun was poked at the Wheel of Time account. They obviously have no control over any of this stuff. They're just a social media account. But a lot of people were asking the question, rightly so. This was promised. Origins was promised. Why aren't we getting it? Where is it? It's not updated yet. There were people counting down. There were people posting screenshots. Do I just not see it? And it got so heated on Twitter that they actually tweeted a reply, and they said the intern of Chaos spilled coffee in the footage, so the new episodes of Origins wouldn't be coming today. Please send kitchen towels and thoughts and prayers for the intern of Chaos. Now, so we're not getting the Origins in August, obviously. Now, I'm not totally shocked, because Rings of Power comes out, like I said, today, and Amazon in no way, shape, or form is going to take any focus off the Rings of Power by releasing anything to do with any other fantasy property until after the show's done. It's their baby. It's everything and anything to them right now. Let's put it this way. Jeff Bezos went to lunch in the States, and then that day hopped on his private jet and flew to the UK for the premiere of Rings of Power. Wasted a lot of gas, I would assume. I don't know what jet fuel costs, but it's probably a lot of money. But to him, it's nothing. Just to see the premiere. And then he kind of introduced it, and he talked about it. He was there personally. I don't believe he was there for the Wheel of Time. So this is their baby. There's no way they're going to release anything Wheel of Time related this close to Rings of Power. And I knew that, and I think everybody else kind of knew that too, but we are all hoping that the promise that they made that we would get Origins in August would happen. It obviously didn't. Now, again, this came out, and people started roasting the account for this, because usually the account tweets like it's in the Wheel of Time world. And there's no coffee in the world, but there is calf, which is a Shan-Chan drink. So there was a lot of... I think you misspelled calf in that too, which was kind of funny. I did that too. But no Origins yet. I'll keep you guys posted. If I hear anything at all, I've asked questions. I put the feelers out to my contacts, and everybody is kind of going, they have no idea. They're not being told anything. So maybe we'll get some Wheel of Time content, but my guess is probably not until after the end of Rings of Power. All right, so now we're going to talk about another casting leak brought to us by WoTSeries.com. This one is for Hayley Mills, an absolutely legendary Hollywood actress. She's been acting since she was 12. Her long and very storied career spans decades and dozens of credits. She's received a number of accolades, too many to list here, including a Special Academy Award for The Parent Trap, but she is an absolute legend in Hollywood, and her CV was recently updated to showcase that she was going to be a part of Wheel of Time 2, which is the second season of the Wheel of Time. And under role, it was blank, but the director said various. So that does give us a small clue, because she is a very, very big name actress. She's a big deal. She's very good at her craft, and she's going to be in probably more than one episode, because you got to remember there are a few directors for the second season, so the likelihood of it saying various is probably going to be because she's in a number of different episodes, 2, 3, maybe even 4 episodes or more. So that kind of narrows it down. So it's probably not a walk-on role, it's probably not an extra, it's probably some sort of character that has a recurring quality to it. Maybe she'll be back for more than just the second season as well. We have no idea. So like I said, that does narrow down the possibilities of the character she's playing, but if I had to guess, I'd say she's either playing an Aiel Wise one, because I think she'd absolutely kill that sort of matriarchal role, or Varen Sedai. Now, I know that a lot of people have fan cast different casting leaks that have come out as Varen Sedai so far, and I have myself as well, but there's been no confirmation from Amazon at all, so we don't know if any of them are going to be playing Varen. I think Hayley Mills would be an excellent Varen, or any of the Wise ones, personally, in my opinion. So let me know in the comments down below what you think about it, and which character you think she's going to play. Now we're going to end on this note. I did mention this earlier on in the video, but the Rings of Power does release today, September 1st, 9 p.m. Eastern, and I think it's like 2 a.m. in the UK. For those of you on the other side of the pond that are fans of the channel. I will be doing later this evening videos on the show. So I'm going to watch the show with my family tonight, and then I'll do a review video probably later this evening. And tomorrow you'll see episode 1 review probably come out tomorrow evening. Episode 2 probably come out Saturday-ish is my guess. So I will review the show as a new fan, and I'm pretty excited to do so because I know literally nothing going in. I couldn't name a single actor or actress. The only person that I know is involved in the show are the people that are involved in Wheel of Time, like the director Wayne Yip. He directed, I believe, the first episode of The Lord of the Rings. So I'm pretty excited about that. I'm going in pretty much with zero knowledge. I haven't read the books in over 20 years. Longer than that, actually 25 years, I guess, not since high school. And I haven't seen the movies in probably 10 years. So going in with zero knowledge and just expecting a good show. So that's what my review is going to be based on. If you folks like Lord of the Rings, if you like the Rings of Power, make sure you tune into those reviews coming out in the next couple of days. And don't forget to watch Fellowship of the Fans on Sunday when I'm on stream around 2:30 Eastern-ish, I guess. There's not really hard and fast time for that. Depends when the panel starts, but it'll be around that time where we talk all things Rings of Power there too, and I give my impressions live with a bunch of other people. So that's all the news we have for you today. And again, like I said, this was a long one. A lot of meat to this this news video today, and I'm pretty happy about that. It's been a long time since we could do one of this length. I do appreciate you all very much for sticking with me here to the very end, and here's to many more.